Today I'm going to show you how we can process vendor invoices against a commitment purchase order that have unit and quantity based amounts. So let's go ahead and upload our invoice into the inbox here, and we will be able to see it start processing at the top of our inbox. So although you can upload invoices into the system, we do recommend that you connect your email account for your accounting or invoicing email. So your vendors that submit the invoices via email automatically come in and we don't need to wait for this processing step. But as we can see, the invoice is already processing, the vendor name, invoice amount, and the project are being analyzed and populated within this system here. It will also go through each individual line item and match it to the purchase order based off of quantity, description, and price amounts. So let's go ahead and just wait for this to finalize. It typically takes around a minute and a half or less, depending on the complexity of the specific invoice. All right, we can see that the system is done processing all of the data, so that was relatively quick. And you can see down here in our invoice cards, the project is selected. You can always change the project down here. The commitment was also associated based off of the data that's coming directly from the commitment, but you can also change the different commitments or select the billing period. It will default to the current amount. So let's go ahead and take a look at the items. We can give ourselves a little bit more space by just expanding this view here. And we're going to be able to see that the quantity price units were populated based off of the data that's pulling from the document itself. So we can see that the quantity is being populated along with the unit prices. So you can always search either of these fields for the specific unit quantity price or the amount that is pulling in the line items. We have a budget search filter here. So if you ever need to search by specific lines, you can copy, paste, and search those here. So we can go ahead and see any of the fields that are populated based off of the document extraction. So all of the current periods are matched against the schedule of values and the units are populated. We can always go and change any of these units. So for instance, this is unit quantity that is pre-populated based off of the amount. And if we wanted to search the amount here in the field, we can go do so and try to find this corresponding line. Let's go ahead and take a look for this line here. And if you need to change the quantity, you can do so by just typing in the quantity amount, and that will update the current period. If we scroll all the way to the bottom, we'll be able to see any lines that are missing and not found in the commitment. So we can see that this line located here was not associated in the commitment. So these are not found in the commitment, and it will warn you for the current amount that is missing. We can see that the total for the invoice period is less the amounts that are missing. So typically you can jump directly into the Procore commitment and you can create a commitment change order right within the system. When that change order is created, that change order will flow back into inBuild and you can post the missing line items. So once everything is reviewed and tied out, you can go ahead and submit this into the system. As we can see, we also get a warning when there's any mismatched amounts. So it's saying that the predicted amount is not matching what the current period is because of this line item that is being missed. So let's go ahead and just populate this in one of these fields so we can process it forward. You can either type in the quantity, or if you just double click into the current period, it will populate the remaining balance for what needs to be billed remaining. So we can just enter in the amount and then cross-reference to ensure that everything is correct. The amount that I populated up here is going to throw off a little warning there. So let's go ahead and submit this. We can always proceed with submission and push that directly into Procore. We can see it submitting, and once it's submitted, we can go and view that within Procore. Creates this invoice. The status can be customized, so if it goes into under review, you can use the workflows within Procore, and all the line item quantity amounts and attachments will be included in the sync. So that's how you process a unit quantity based invoice from inBuild into Procore.